Yeah, I just can't bear the drama. I can't bear it. Right now, I'm watching Put a Ring on It. Decided, let's do some reviews, you know what I mean? And I can't bear it. No, it seems like it's going to be a pretty good season. It's already kind of juicy, a little spicy or whatever. I'm excited to see how some of these dudes handle the flip. Anyways, let's get into it. So right now, this first episode is basically like the women are going on a date with someone else other than their partner that they came with. So that's how we already getting it started. That's already like, what? So you already know it's crazy. So we have Ashley, who's 39. She's a paralegal from New Orleans. You know what I mean? She feels like she could be happier in her relationship. She's just unsure. She just says that Hollywood is indecisive. Like, one minute he wants to be with her. I mean, he wants to be with her, but one minute he wants to get married. One minute he don't. One minute he's unsure. One minute he's like this and that. To the point where now she's just like, okay, you know what? I don't know what I want to do. You know, so then her man's Hollywood is a he owns a barbershop, and he said is a business owner, and he wants to get married, and he proposed before, but as I said before, he was indecisive. So I don't know, but right now he seems pretty solid. Like, y'all want to marry you, so we gonna see. And second couple, we have Shay, who's 27. She wants to get married, and her concern in the relationship is that her man Mike just is basically just like, he doesn't care. You know, she feels that he doesn't put in a lot of effort into the relationship. And Mike, who is 35, wow, like they were I guess split before about 3 years. They were split for about 3 years before, and that man proposed to a whole nother woman, and he's back with old Shay, and she's just waiting, and he's done with marriage at this point. This man is like, no, I'm good. Like, marriage is a trap. You can keep it. You can keep it. He thinks it's forced, you know, so whatever. Then we have our third couple, Mimi, who is 42, from Indiana. She says she doesn't know if she wants to stay in this relationship with her guy. I think it's Ulysses. But you know, she's like, and he's like, yo, the first time I met this girl, I was like, wow, like it was love at first sight, you know. So that's some crazy dynamics here. So then we have our doctor, you know, getting everybody together, who is Dr. Nicole. She says she's been in the business for 25 years. And her conclusion is that they all struggle from fear. Don't we all? Don't we all, bro? But she said they all struggle from fear. It's like either their fear in a relationship is, some of them is that they'll never get married, and they really want that, you know. And then other people, they fear getting married, they fear the divorce and things like that. So she drops a big old bombshell on them, you know, after they all discuss their little problems with them. And she's like, well, you know what, men's, this episode, y'all's women are gonna go on a date with other men. Woo! Shouty, how you think that went over? How do you think that went over? Not well at all. So, looking at my notes here. This is my first video, kind of nervous, but you know, bear with me. We will get through it. Okay, so anyways. So when Dr. Nicole makes that announcement, like, y'all ladies gonna go on a date with somebody else, Ashley and who was it? Ashley and some other girl, they do like a high five. I believe, no, yeah, Ashley and Shay, I believe Ashley and Shay did a high five, and Mike was just like, oh well, that's why y'all missed. Like, he wasn't taking it serious whatsoever. That dude was unbothered, like, just turned into little jokes. On the other hand, Hollywood was not having it. He was not having it. That man was not having it. So we cut to when the ladies are about to go on the dates, and I believe first it was Ashley and Hollywood, and basically Ashley being a little butthole, little, you know, little meanie, talking about, oh, you know, what if dude is fine and all this stuff, and Hollywood's just like, and so what if he fine? He could be fine all day, all night, but he ain't got what I got. You know, he ain't got what I got, honey. Well, he might not have what I got. Like, he could be fine all day. He might have a little thing. You better stay where you at. Stay where you know you satisfied. And she was like, shoot, I'm excited. I'm ready. And he just like kind of like grooming, like I feel like all these dudes, well, not all of them, but like, I'll talk about Ulysses later, but like Hollywood, it's kind of like, you know, just kind of like get her mind right before she goes on the date, you know what I mean? But he's just kind of doing it in all the wrong ways, in my opinion. Like, it's cute initially, I thought, you know, when he was talking about, oh well, you know, and he's talking about his, you know, how the other dude may have a little may lack, you know, in places that he don't like and stuff. But then it got a little crazy, especially when dude actually came to you know, get her and everything like that. Like, he was just overly aggressive. Like, bro, calm down. You caught it coming off like you want to fight this man. Like, you already knew he was coming over. Talking about, oh, be extra respectful. Dude's like, of course I'm gonna be respectful. And he just like, yo, nah. Like, I mean it. I mean it. I be respectful, you know what I mean? It was hilarious. But Ashley was kind of like, she wasn't helping the situation. She wasn't making it no better before her date arriving, because everything that she was saying, just throwing out like all these scenarios and things like that, was making his mind wonder. It wasn't like she was like, oh baby, you know, like kissing him, anything like that, making him feel okay. She's just like totally with the jokes and playing. You know, it is what it is. He could have handled it still a lot better, but I'm just saying, she ain't helped nothing. So on the date, her date's name is Ray. Ray is pretty attractive, indeed. I would agree. He is attractive. He says he's from all over the place. I think he's at like Michigan, Arizona, Texas, whatever. And what I noticed was that they're Saints fans, that Ashley and Hollywood are Saints fans, because when they were having that pre-talk before the date, I know the little Saints little whatever on the fridge or whatever. So anyways, they was talking football, and he was talking about how he would choose the Bucks over the Saints because of wherever he's from. And you know, that rubbed Ashley a little the wrong way, but she was in this date. She was ready for this date. She was enjoying it. She was, you know, they was just bantering, just teasing each other, and she was like talking about how he looked like a little Odell Beckham, like, oh girl. But you know, I think that like if Hollywood was like a dark skin and then I mean, if he was like a light skin and then a dark skin came through the door, she would be like just as enamored. But it's like she not that he's dark skinned, but he's, anyways, look, a little Odell Beckham dude, a little way more light skinned dude, and you know, it's just a little difference in like their build and stuff like that. So it's just, you know, something different. So she was excited. It was just something different, but Hollywood could tell he was just totally not feeling it. He was not in it. So anyway, so next we have Shay and Mike, and they've been together, but they said they've known each other for 2 years, and no, they've been together for 2 years, and they've known each other for 6 years. That's right. And Shay goes on a date with Andre, and she really likes Andre because they have things in common. Like, Andre was ready to be married before, but his ex wasn't ready to be married, which is Shay's current situation. And pretty much their date was just talk of the exes. I mean, but I think that brought them together because through talking about what didn't work with their exes, I guess they're finding what could have worked for them. Who knows? You know? So, and then Andre totally like hits Shay with a big old reality check, drops a big seed, big seed in the garden. You know what I mean? He's talking about, well, when she's explaining that they broke up for like 3 years and he proposed to another girl, he was like, whoa, like, that don't speak volumes to you. And she like, what you mean, bro? He like, well, he locked that down. Like, that's what men do when they love something, they lock it down. He locked that down within 3 years, and y'all been dealing with each other. Y'all been knowing each other for like 6 years, and he didn't lock it down. So he just probably don't want to marry you. Like, you're probably like a comfort for him or whatever. But he proposed. He actually showed action to the other girl and not you. She's like, you ain't gotta say it all like that. And it's just like, well, if you think about it, like, that's straight up. Like, he made that decision quick, fast, in a hurry, and he been playing around with you. Like, you was just being kept around till he find the real thing. That's like what it seemed like. And then especially how he wasn't taking it serious that like y'all date, that you was going on a date and everything. Like, he just kind of seems like he already got his mind on something else, you know? Like, oh, I ain't worried about it, cause all his focus ain't on you, girl. I'm just putting that out there right now. Let's just put that out there right now. He might just be like, oh yeah, no, I'm just confident. I just know I got everything. No, that's not what it's coming off like, bro. I'm sorry, whatever. Your mind on something else. So, yeah. And she's like, oh, well, you know, I just thought that he had the capacity to propose. Like, yeah, like anybody does. And he did it with someone else. Like, that's just showing like you that he can. And it's showing that he will to somebody that he wants to. He don't want to. He's telling you he don't want to marry you. Okay? So, yeah. So that was that day. It was just pretty much the talk of the exes. And then Mimi and Ulysses. So before Mimi's date, like, Ulysses is totally trying to like train her mind. He already trying to train her mind. Like talking about, oh, is your date gonna make you feel like Halle Berry or something? Like, why my date gotta make me feel like Halle Berry? Like, what if I already feel like Halle Berry? And because I feel like Halle Berry and you don't make me feel like Halle Berry, I'm gonna go out on another date because I already feel like Halle Berry. Like, why this man gotta make me feel like Halle Berry? Anyway, for real though, I felt, boy, stop. So it was like a total light skin tantrum. Even more so than Hollywood. Like, just, it was crazy. And then they got a call from the hospital talking about Mimi's dad, and he's on resuscitation, and they were asking her to put him on do not resuscitate, but she was like, I can't do it right now. Like, I know, he's suffering and all that, but I would just like to keep him in intensive care. Man. So yeah, that's just where we're gonna end that. So let's get back to where all the couples gathered back around. You know what I mean? Hollywood definitely had like a change of heart. And I don't think it was for the better. I think he was trying to make it seem like it was for the better. Talking about, like, she really needed that. She really needed to go out on another date or whatever. Well, first off, let's start with Ashley. So Ashley was trying to tell the group that she had a really good time and that it was refreshing. And as soon as she said that and started speaking her truth, Hollywood totally like let go of her hand and, the little got distant. And like, I feel like initially she tried to downplay it, when she was talking to him one-on-one, and then the group, she was a little bit more honest. But she was just saying, like, they have a lot, and she was just saying, like, what was enjoyable about it was that her date and Hollywood actually had a lot in common, and Hollywood wasn't having that. He was like, nope, don't, I'm an original. Don't sit there and compare him to me. I don't care what you think you got in common. Like, don't compare it. And it was like his attitude was just nasty, like, the whole time. Like, you knew what you were signing up for, bro. Anyway. But, like I was saying, when she said it was refreshing, he was like, oh, and it could be refreshing. And I wanted to keep being refreshing. Like, just being so negative and pushing her away. And what do you mean you wanted to keep being refreshing? Like, you already keep, like, that could be taken multiple ways. But if she just wanted to take it at surface level and just throw it out the window, cool, that was good. But me, I would have been like, what's that supposed to mean? So should I take another date or what? Like, don't sit there and play them childish games with me. Like, for real though. Anyway, for real though, Jamie Foxx. Anyway, it was a mess. He was like, I think that she needed that. She needed that to know what she want to do. But I think he was projecting when he said that, because in his mind, he's thinking, well, you know what? If she want to go out on dates and be open-minded, then that's probably what I need. I need to go on dates. That's what I need too. I need that. So he was going to try to make it seem like he was okay with it, because when it's his time, he about to act up, boy. All these dudes is about to act up. You already know all them dudes about to be on 10. On 10. So, anyway. And another thing about Hollywood, he don't ever let her talk. Like, oh, and it can be that, and it can be that. Like, boy, okay, we know it can be that because she said it was that, and that's what it's going to be. Thank you. No permission needed. You just getting on my nerves. Like, initially I was like, oh, he's so adorable. You're so cute. And now I'm like, bro, your tantrum and it's like, that is real, like, irritating. You know what I mean? And then Dr. Nicole, asked would she go on a second date. And I think Ashley wanted to take that second date. That's Lil Baby Odell Beckham Jr. Why in tarnations wouldn't she take the second date? Well, I guess because she loved her nigga or whatever. Care about his feelings. No, I'm just playing. But she was kind of like, saying in the confessional, like, maybe I should be thinking about Ashley more. And I was thinking about the relationship more, like, duh. Make him sweat a little bit. Because when it's his turn to go on a date, he about to make you sweat. Just at the thought of you going on the date made him want to get revenge on you. And that's just the truth. That's just his spirit. Just when you thinking you entertaining something, he about to go out and be on 10. You know what I mean? So, like, just to wrap that up, he a big projector. He try to manipulate you, manipulate your mind, tell you he wants you to think. and he got that in common with Ulysses. But yeah. And actually, I don't know why she didn't take that second date, I don't know, cause she know his vengeful spirit. I think that's the only reason why, because she really wanted that second date. Like she said, it was refreshing. They had a lot in common and all that. But I don't know, maybe she just wanted to make, her nigga sweat just a little bit, but she could make him sweat a little more. But really, she don't want her dude to take the second date. Like, no, don't even be thinking that. That's tit for tat. He gonna do what he wanna do, just like you doing what you gonna do. If you wanna take that second date, don't think about the next person, for real. Or else y'all wouldn't even be here. Y'all would be solid, locked down, not even thinking about what y'all wanted to do. And that's just the real. So Dr. Nicole tells him to pay attention to how he responds to things, like, for real. Because every time that she tries to, like, talk, like I said, he starts to cut her off and things like that, and only worried about how he feels and not worried about how she feels. Like, and she used this whole picture analogy and was saying that when you take a picture, you only see yourself in the picture, and you don't care about how everybody else looking. You gonna critique you. And I feel that. I sent my grandmother a canvas painting for Mother's Day, and all she could do was point out how she didn't look like how she looked. Like, anyway, that's another story. But yeah. So next to Shay and Mike. So to wrap that up, she said that Shay said that she really liked the date, but she would not go on a second date with him. And then the doctor asked why, and Mike speaks for her and says, "Oh, he's not tall enough." And she says that, yeah, he's not tall enough. Was you really gonna say that? Was that really your reason? I don't think you were gonna say that. I think you're gonna say something about how because you love Mike or something like that. But no, just because he ain't tall enough. No, Mike gave you that reason, and you quickly adapted your reasoning to that reason, girl. Like, get a backbone. Speak for yourself and think for yourself. Because he wasn't tall enough. So you would rather a dude mentally, emotionally abuse you, as long as he's tall enough. Anyway. Mike. Oh, Mr. I Fill Her Cup. You doing something else, bro. You doing something else. Just simple as that. Someone else. And Ulysses and Mimi, because they were going through what they were going through with her dad, she did not go on her date. And I would say that means Ulysses has to be on his best behavior when it's the guy's turn to go on a date. Or he should just kind of skip out on that date too, because this girl didn't get to go on her date. Boo boo. Don't act up. Your girl didn't even get to act up. No, go through the process. Go on a little date so she can still get some, some clarity. Mr. You was in love with first sight, because she's the one who doesn't know if she wants to stay or not anyway. So yeah, you go on that date. Actually. Well, I say that about sums it up. Oh yeah, and she tells Mimi and Ulysses that in this hard time that they really need to clamp onto each other and grasp onto each other, because emotions are about to get heavy, and in that time you're gonna really want to get mad and lash out at somebody. But in that time, even if you do that, understand it and still cling hard onto each other. Don't make that anger allow y'all to separate, because in this time it's really going to be tested, y'all relationship. And that's so true, when I went through a loss recently, I went through 2 losses within the past 3 years, and I don't know, with my ex-mate or whatnot, I think they thought, we're close to my family as well, and they don't really know how to handle death. So I think it definitely, when I was trying to, cling and grasp onto them tighter, they were pulling away. But that was just each of our different ways of dealing with death and things like that. But it was detrimental because we weren't on the same page and we weren't both trying to stick in with to each other. Well, blah blah blah. I ain't about to get all into it about me, but yeah, that's my review for Put a Ring on It, season 1, episode 1. I couldn't bear it. I can't bear it. All right, y'all. Have a good one.